Shalom, Kalalalim La, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakudash, double us the apostles of greatness, stone, Shalom to the Akim, pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. This is Kazak from GMS Jamaica with another quick lesson. Alright, this one will be coming from an article by Jamaica Observer. Alright, and it's about Jam Dex, which is Jamaica's central bank digital currency, CBDC for short. Right, so basically, a quick gist of what it's about is they're trying to get transport operators, which is taxis and bus, right? These private operators to start embracing and using the Jam Dex. So we're just gonna jump into the article, make a few points, and then read a couple scriptures. Alright. So it says transport operators say they are ready to embrace the Bank of Jamaica's central bank digital currency Jam Dex, and could do so in time for the new year if things fall in place quickly. Aldo Antonio, co-founder and acting executive chairman of the National Transporters Alliance Group, said he has been lobbying amongst transport owners to embrace Jam Dex as a means of improving the efficiency of their operation and to reduce costs and security risks. Alright, quote, I see Jam Dex as something that would be significantly transformative for the public transportation sector and needs to be embraced, Antonio told the Jamaica Observer. But he said he understands if at the moment his fellow transportation owners are not gung-ho, especially with the low levels of participation of both vendors and consumers using Jam Dex. Alright, one of the things that we have recognized at NTAG is that you have to have sufficient numbers of people using Jam Dex to make it feasible. So no matter how many merchants there are, if there aren't sufficient customers using it, then the merchants will become discouraged over time and abandon it. It is a system which has to be pushed on both ends in an aggressive way, because even if you have Jam Dex through one of the wallets on your phone, if you don't have enough merchants accepting it, doesn't make sense. Right? So this is what the financial departments are, the BOJ, is really pushing towards, to get as much people, if not all, right, using the Jam Dex, right, doing more and more transactions with the Jam Dex. Right, so now them have to come up with more measures, more unique measures. Go back to the drawing board, right? Look at every sector, and them are gonna mention something important in this, in a few lines. All right. He said he believes getting transport owners to use Jam Dex is an acceptable means of paying bus and taxi fares. Salakia. He said he believes getting transport owners to use Jam Dex as an acceptable means of paying bus and taxi fares will go a far way in helping to proliferate the use of the digital currency. We recognize that the things that Jamaican people do transaction with every day, that is food and transportation. So if we can get them moving and paying for transportation using Jam Dex on a daily basis, it increases the rate at which we can get the digital currency into people's hands, right? And this is just how them come together and figure out certain things, in terms of getting whatever product it is that they want to push, in this case the Jam Dex, right? Finding out what problems this thing can solve, right? And in some cases they might actually create the problems themselves and then bring whatever them trying to push as the solution, right? So in this case, them identify that food and transportation is something that people spend money upon every day, which is true, you know. That's very true. So if you can get more people to use this cashless option to pay for goods, to pay for food and transportation, right, on a daily basis, then them will have then will start to see the results that they want and get the meet whatever milestones are set. Because another thing we have to remember is that these things aren't really being pushed by just the Jamaican government or the BOJ independently, right? All of these things are mandated and are coming from the very elites, which is why Jamaica is not the only country you see, pushing these things, right? There's other countries out there that are pushing cashlessness, right? Digital system, digital infrastructures. So you're gonna see more and more articles like this, saying that, hey, use this to use Jam Dex for this, use Jam Dex for that. Let's incentivize this. Let's incentivize the Jam Dex so that we can get more people interested in it and wanting to use it. Because right now a lot of people don't necessarily have a concrete reason. Yes, as they mentioned in the article, that making change, right, for certain bus fares. As a matter of fact, let me just get it there right here. So, all right, let me just, because say another one of the issues here, right? It's on the other hand, the bus and taxi operators, they have a major challenge on a daily basis, accounting for cash. And we know expensive it is to collect cash, store cash, and pay cash to the bank. It is a time-consuming and costly process. With Jam Dex and the digital wallets, the money goes into your account immediately, so you can eliminate those kind of cost factors to worry about. Right, and this is always what them are gonna push to the forefront, the convenience of these things, right? Them are gonna always push the convenience of it, but they are not going to tell you that in the future, right, which is in the very near future, right, this thing are gonna become detrimental, meaning this is just the framework being set for slavery, for a captivity, a modern day captivity scene, where your money will actually be in control or be under the control of the central bank, right? This is all, this cash is all programmable, you know what I mean? It can come and go just like that. With physical cash, you don't necessarily have to adhere to nobody like that, because you can just go around, you have the cash bar, you can just go anywhere you want and rate. But with the digital currencies, you know what I mean, it is programmable, meaning it can be taken and given to you as they see fit, right? Or your wallet can be your wallet can become banned, for lack of a better term, right, from making certain transactions. You can be barred from making certain transactions based on how based on your standing, your social standing with the agendas that they're pushing. Right, see how easy it is now to get somebody cancelled. Right, you say the wrong thing, or you do the wrong thing, or you tweet or post the wrong thing. Right, just like that, you are ostracized and you get cancelled. And we see this every day, right? So just imagine in the future, in the near future, you know, maybe a year, 2 years from now, you will really see the reality of what this thing can bring, right? If you go back to China, right? China is, you can actually say like more than 50% cashless. See, it's way over 50% cashless. You know what I mean? And guess what? They also have a social credit system that they use, which can affect your ability to your financial ability, basically, right? Where you work, you can affect the jobs they can get, what type of school the kids can will be allowed to go, right? Based on how obedient you are in their society, right? So we're just gonna get a quick precept. Alright, let's go Psalm 64 first. So this is Psalms 64. Alright, so this is Psalm 64 and verse. What's going on here? So, alright, Psalm 64 and verse 2, it says, first one, hear my voice in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword. Give me a second. I want to look up this word real quick. Psalm 64. This, okay. 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 Company. Scheming. Okay. Tumultuous. Company. Insurrection. Alright, so going back to Psalm 64 and 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. Alright, so this is a snare. This is a trap. Right? This digital society, as me say, in the long run, in the near future, right? The ultimate goal is to have control over everyone, right? And one of the best ways to control people is to control their money, right? You don't need to so like as a matter of fact, control their resources overall, because once you control them money, you can get them to be obedient. And once you control their food, their water supply, you can get people to be obedient, but in this case, once them have control over the money overall, them have control over any individual, right? So yes, this whole cashless / digital society that is being built, is definitely a trap and a snare. Alright, it says, they say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, but the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. All right. All right, because these people, they make diligent a diligent search. You know what I mean? Studies, research, right? Yeah, not the elites. The elites not do it, personally, but they are the ones who fund all of these things. You know. Um, yeah. Go back to the article real quick. All right. So let's go down to another issue. Where them a highlight for the Jam Dex, where the Jam Dex can help. Alright, so it says in most instances, for example, especially in the rural areas, the average fare is like $120, and in most instances, the operators would have to be walking around with sufficient coins to make change after a passenger pays. He has to collect a lot of $20 coins and store them in the car on a daily basis. And so what you find sometimes is that they just can't bother. Yeah, which is true. That is something that you see on a daily basis, especially when you get to places where fare is like 120. It is sometimes the driver don't give back no change. If you give him 150, you probably not get back no change. Alright. You give 150 or what if you 120 or 130? Oh no, it's 120. Right, so sometimes you find hard to get back certain change, like the $30 change. Sometimes you get 20, sometimes you don't get back the 10 or whatever. So that's what them a point out. Alright, it says the obvious reluctance stems from them not seeing it available for them to use for transactions in their daily lives. So for them, it's something that people are talking about, but they haven't seen it around them. From that perspective, there's a sense of ambivalence because they don't see it around them. Right. So, right, because nowadays, you don't really see a lot of people talking about Jam Dex. The most you will see Jam Dex or anything Jam Dex are related to Link, which is the name of the wallet out here in Jamaica, right? Is when you go to a NCB ATM, you will see that it advertising that they can do a Link cash out or cash in here. But otherwise from that, you're not really seeing it so often around the place. Alright, okay, so there's one other thing here that them pointed out. I'm just gonna get to it. Alright, right here it says, alright, Antonio suggests that with the pending fare increase, there's an opportunity for the government to incentivize people to use Jam Dex by giving them the digital currency as a credit of about $1,000 to subsidize the fare increase at the initial stage, especially going into the Christmas period. Right, and there we go. That is another method with them come up with. If you realize them try to incentivize a lot of things that they want people to be on board with, right? Link, for example, when you just signed up, you get 2,500 Jam Dex coins or Jam Dex currency, right? And now they must do the same thing here. So I also have Link business. When you sign up for to be a merchant on the wallet, right? You also get, there was a grant that was being provided for small business owners. I believe it was like 25,000 Jamaican dollars, right? Just for sign up as a business or for register your business. So like just to sign up your already registered business to the link wallet. Yeah, you get the 25,000. All right, so that's pretty much what I'm gonna pick out of the article today. Just gonna read a couple more scriptures and then we can finish off. All right, so right, so again, as mentioned before, right, this all goes back to Esau's plans, I mean, to so like yeah, to have full control over this society, which them already have control over major resources, but at this time around, them really want to subdue the whole earth, right? Bring everybody into subjection, right? And once them set up this beast, well, the beast system is already in motion, but once it comes to that final nail in the coffin, which is the RFI, you know it go, right? The MOTB, right? Once that comes around, that is when them are gonna think them belly full, right? Just like in a Job, let's say, when he's about to fill his belly, right? When he's about to bring in that NWO, right? When them feel like say them NWO go fully set in, like, yo, king of the world type thing, the true God of this world now. See, that's when the Most High gonna disappoint them. Alright. And we can only know these things through the Spirit of the Lord. This is Amos 3 and verse 7. Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. Because ultimately Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the one where set all of this in motion. Right? Esau are just the one that was casted to be the antagonist, and we the Israelites casted as the protagonist, right? And then you have the other nations, which are your extras and so on and so forth. See, right? Right, so all these things were revealed unto us, through the Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. See, we'll read one more. This is Micah. Alright, so this is Micah 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house. And again, as we said, this digital society, this digital system is going directly into that, right? Right, where Esau, Edom, or I should say the elites, will have full control over everybody and all resources, right? Going back to even the World Economic Forum, where they're saying that you will own nothing and still be happy, right? You will be happy owning nothing. See, everything that you need will be provided to you. So like everything that you need will be provided to you, right? And when you're no longer in need of it, it gets removed. See, that's why we'll have things like them 15-minute cities being built, right? Just like the one over in the Middle East. Right, so there is no need for doing a bag of traveling, no need for own a vehicle, so on and so forth, right? Just public transportation, So them will literally have control over every aspect of your life. Seeing from your resources to your very self. Alright, but with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. Kalalimla, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kodash, Tablanos, the apostles of Great Millstone once again, and Shalom to the Akim also, doing this word in sincerity and in truth.